Hello guys, Rob1 here, and today I am doing my Yugioh Vrains Episode 2 review. Now, before we get into this, I just want to say, these reviews, they're not going to be like full-on reviews of the whole episode. Obviously, I'm going to give my opinion on the episode and what I think of it, but I feel like from Episode 1, where I just like discussed every single detail of the episode, I don't really like doing that sort of thing. It's like not really my sort of thing, and I don't really like that. So my reviews, I think, are going to mainly be on certain parts of the episode that I think are really interesting, certain bits that I saw that I thought were cool, and just certain topics in the episode that kind of made me think, oh, this is something really interesting for the episode. So my reviews are mainly just going to be around the more interesting topics of the episode. I may go into little bit details that some people may have missed, or some people may not have noticed, but in my opinion, I feel like doing this sort of thing is more my sort of style. So let's get straight into this review. So right away as we get into the episode, we start off with Yusaki and Ignis on the data stream. So they started off with their speed duel. Yes, these are called speed duels, and we find out how speed duels work. So we basically get the instructions of how a speed duel works. So let's get into how a speed duel actually works. So a speed duel's layout is basically you have 3 monster zones and 3 spell and trap card zones. So that's basically like Yugioh Vrains. So that's basically like Duel Links in a way. I think the speed duels are kind of like to support Duel Links in a way. In my opinion, that's not really that great because I kind of don't like how Konami are doing this sort of thing. But it's alright. It's not terrible, in my opinion. It was really entertaining, to be honest, in my opinion, like the whole thing. But copying Duel Links, I don't really like that sort of thing, so that's like a little downside to it of me. You also only start off with 4 cards, such as in Duel Links, and you also have certain abilities called skills. And the basic thing Ignis said was like life point gaining, attack boosting, and card drawing. So you could draw an extra card, you could gain some life points, or you could give some extra attack to a monster that is kind of in a bad situation. So those are some of the 3 basic skills. I don't know if this is in Duel Links. I've never played Duel Links because my phone it's a crappy Windows phone. Like, I can't play it. So yeah, I'm kind of down on that. But so we've basically, I believe these skills are in Duel Links. We also have some additional skills one that only the Knights of Hanoi can use, which is a double draw, which basically allows you to draw 2 cards, which is unfair, but it's kind of it's cool nonetheless to watch. And we have another skill that you can only use in something called a data storm. Yes, it's basic. Data storms, what we found out from this episode, is where all the monsters live. So basically in episode 1 we got a description of that certain monsters live in these data streams, and so we found out that all the monsters which was kind of interesting, live in the data storm. And you can only get these monsters by going into the data storm, which is actually quite dangerous. So we found out that was a quite dangerous option to go into a data storm, but Yusaki does it anyway. And while you're in there, you can have this special ability called Storm Access. And Storm Access is basically an ability that allows you to take a monster from the storm. And the basis of this is the more powerful the storm, the more powerful the monster. So Yusaki basically used Data Access, the special ability, and took out Decode Talker, which was quite cool because we got to see, but we don't really know if it was Decode Talker yet, but it was still pretty cool to see. So Decode Talker was taken out, and from that, we saw that Yusaki, while he was doing Data Access, it seems that it was actually really hard using Data Access because he had to have his arm out. He literally had to hold his arm. He had to hold his arm just to stop his arm from shaking so much from the ferocity of the storm. So obviously it was going to be a very powerful monster, which was very, very, very interesting. Seeing that, seeing the Data Storm and a special ability that can only be used in the storm access, which it was very good them fusing those two things together, which I found really cool. So speed duels so far, to me, they are a very interesting sort of topic in this series. It reminds me of D-Wheel's Turbo Duels a bit, because you have to ride the hoverboard sort of thing, but it takes away from that as well with new things such as the dueling crawls, the special abilities. I'm hoping they're not always going to be doing this, in my opinion, because I really, really don't want them to, you know, just go all out with like certain data storms, certain duels. Like I don't really want them to always be doing the speed duels. I would prefer them to do like normal duels once every while as well. Just mainly, I would prefer them to see that more than this, because like sure this is more interesting because they're like going on a stream and stuff, but just always seeing speed duels all the time, it's not really something I liked. Like, even in 5Ds, it was cool to watch, but I would prefer if they had more standard duels, in my opinion. Like, I don't dislike turbo duels or anything, or speed duels. It's the fact that I would prefer to see normal duels more than a speed duel or something like that. But, nonetheless, it was pretty cool to see a speed duel, in action. We got to see the whole thing. So through the episode, basically, we got to see we got to see Cracking Dragon summoned. That dragon that was in the Cyverse at the beginning, and the thing that ate Ignis in the first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains. We got to see Cracking Dragon, and his ability was pretty cool to see. Because it was basically when your opponent summons a monster, the opponent's monster loses 200 attack for each of its level, and your opponent takes damage equal to the attack decrease, which was very cool in my opinion. Just to see that. Also, the monster can't be destroyed with a monster of a level less than itself, which was pretty cool to see. Just seeing Cracking Dragon being summoned, seeing its abilities, that was really cool to see in the anime as well. And it turns out you can only get Cracking Dragon if Revolver-sama if Revolver-sama decides to give it to you, which was a very interesting sort of thing as well to see. Because I can't wait to see who else is going to have Cracking Dragon. Is Revolver-sama going to give everybody a Cracking Dragon, or is it only going to be certain people he trusts having the Cracking Dragon? Because that was a really interesting thing to see as well. We also got to see, there was also kind of a very bad thing in this episode that we learned, where if you take a lot of damage, you can get brain damage from this. So what this basically is, if you fell from the height that Yusaki and Ignis and the Knights of Hanoi were dueling at, you could die. Yes, you could physically die. Your real body could die, which was something I found really, really interesting, because that links it more to the original episode as well, where the screens were breaking, which I thought was very, very interesting. Like, just seeing the screens break just from the digital world it's really cool to see how the digital world can affect the real world. And knowing something like this, it's even more detrimental, because if you screw up once in the digital world, you could die. You could be in a coma. You could just turn into a dunce. Like, so it actually. So hearing this brought really, really physical options into the anime, which I thought was really interesting. Just seeing, like, oh my god, like, just knowing that you could die just from a duel, it brings real applications into the duel, and it brings fear, it brings emotions, it brings all sorts. And I really do hope that through this possibility of death, can bring such amazing quality for content. Like, me seeing this, it made me think, oh wow, that's dire, man. That's dire. Like just knowing that really does bring out a new side to it, which was really, really interesting in my opinion. So seeing that was a really, really interesting thing. Just knowing that you could die in the actual episode. Just knowing that you could actually die. It was It was really interesting to see. But, you know, that brings a lot of different varieties into the episodes. I hope it does bring more into the episodes later on. This possibility of death or brain damage or anything like that. But yeah, that's the topic on that. But let's move on to the next thing that I actually want to talk about, which is how link monsters are summoned. Now, it seems when a link monster is about to be summoned in the anime, you go into this kind of portal thing, this square-shaped portal, and through this, you have to create a certain circuit, put the monsters in specific link arrows, and that's how you actually summon the link monster. And seeing this, like, I believe it was backup secretary, the Cyverse monster. Oh, and we also find out that, well, we already knew this, but we see how Yusaki's Cyverse deck is the last Cyverse deck in existence, which was another interesting fact. How Yusaki, how the Knights of Hanoi tried to erase all the Cyverse monsters, all the Cyverse decks, which was really cool. We'll get back to the link summoning in a minute, but just seeing Revolver Summer saying that someone else actually had this deck, and how the company, I forgot their name, sadly, found out that there is still one existing Cyverse deck in existence, which was really interesting. Which was also really cool. But back to how link summoning works. But in the link monster, so they go into the portal. You have to put the monsters in the specific link zones. So you have to put. So for Decode Talker, he had to put 1 on the top arrow and 2 on the bottom arrows, which was really, really cool to watch, in my opinion. Just him doing all the chanting and stuff. And then when it's done, you get to summon Decode Talker, which was just like the animation for Decode Talker was so cool. Like, I really did like how they summoned Decode Talker in the anime. The animation was great for it. It was so good, and I just really did enjoy that. But yeah, guys. So all in all, through this entire episode, it was a very enjoyable episode. We got the facts about when it went back and forth between Hot Dog Man. Yes, I'm still calling him Hot Dog Man until I see his name. And we also got a bit of backstory in the episode, such as Yusaki being saved by these people, by like firemen and stuff. We found out that Hot Dog Man's brother is locked up somewhere in the darkness, and we found out that when Yusaki was younger, he wanted to meet someone. He wants to meet someone that actually helped him out. So that's really interesting to see a bit more backstory as well into the anime. But yeah, guys, essentially that's everything I really wanted to talk about in this episode. We saw Decode Summons Talker. We got a little more backstory. We got how speed duels work. We also saw Cracking Dragon summon. We saw how Link summon's going to work in the actual episodes. And we saw Decode Talker be summoned and how he got Decode Talker. So, all in all, this episode, in my opinion, it was a good episode. It filled out some of the plot fillers. It filled out some of the confusion in the first episode, in my opinion. And I really did enjoy this episode, in my opinion. It was quite a good episode. There was a lot in it. There was a lot of theory in it. There was a lot of ideas in it. It also confirms my theory that Yusaki's deck is kind of a little mix mash of deck. So, yeah. Theory confirmed. Yusaki's deck is a mashup deck. It's not just one type of deck. Sure, it's Cyverse. Yes, it's a Cyverse deck. But it's a mashup deck, so it's not just one it's just not just one type of monster. It's not just one archetype. It's magicians, it's machines, it's all sorts. So it's a mashup deck such as Yugi's and Yuma's deck, which I really did like to find out. Theory confirmed! Yay! But yeah, guys, that's basically my full review. It was a great episode in my opinion. I really did enjoy the backstory plot. I enjoyed how speed duels work. I really did enjoy it. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I really did enjoy how the episode went by. Like, the plot in it was pretty good. It covered up some story. And we found out how the Link monsters are actually obtained. So I bet, like, Blue Angel, Go, they're gonna go through into the Data Storm as well, and that's how they're gonna get their Link monsters. Or they already have the Link monsters, but I think, like, this episode was really interesting. I can't wait to see the next episode. And, yeah, guys. So, guys, tell me what your full opinions of this episode are in the comment section below. Tell me if you liked it, tell me if you disliked it. My opinion, great episode. I did enjoy this episode quite a bit. But yeah, guys, tell me your opinions in the comment section below. And yeah, that's all I really have to say on this topic, guys. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Yugioh videos. Press the notification button to be notified of my future Yugioh videos. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Robert1, signing out. Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video for more Yugioh videos, and check out the links in the description for the previous video, and the link to my Facebook page where you can see previous videos that I've posted there, and any other information that I may have posted there. I hope to see you guys next time, and thanks for watching.